For many children with autism, emotional regulation can be a challenge. Some struggle with identifying their feelings, but others may have difficulty calming themselves when they're overwhelmed. I think we all do, don't we? This is where co-regulation comes in. It is a critical process where a trusted adult really helps guide a child through their emotions, and we offer support, comfort, and model those calming strategies. But co-regulation is just one piece of the puzzle. Really, the ultimate goal is for kids to develop their own self-regulation, or by the time they're adults, develop self-regulation, which is the ability to manage our emotions and behaviors more independently. The transition from co-regulation to self-regulation just doesn't happen overnight. It's really a process that requires like consistent, patient guidance, teaching, but also safety, where kids can practice their emotional skills. So, why are co-regulation and self-regulation both so crucial for development, and how can we use these with our learners? Hi, I'm Shira.
And I'm Shayna. We're behavior analysts who create weekly content about how to teach children with autism so that they make real progress. And we create shareable resources to make your job just a little easier. Today's topic is all about co-regulation and self-regulation. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on new video releases.
So when I think of the difference between co-regulation and self-regulation, I think of, a toddler versus a young adult. When our kids are really little and a toddler might fall, scrape their knee, what happens when it's a 2-year-old? You race over there, you pick them up, you calm them, you hug them, you give them a Band-Aid, you do whatever you need to do. Now having older kids and teenagers, I don't do that anymore. If they get hurt, they'll figure it out for themselves. And that's through a process of an adult being there for them and handling emotions when they're young, and then eventually them being able to, find their own Band-Aid or Advil or whatever it is that they need.
So I guess the question is, let's define these terms, right? What is co-regulation? When I think of co-regulation, I think about just a really shared emotional process. It's where the adult helps a child regulate their emotions and behaviors, right? It's really providing that external support when someone can't calm themselves down themselves.
I use the saying often of be the thermostat and not the thermometer. And that really is what co-regulation is. Instead of feeding off of someone else's energy, you're able to be the calm. You can be the calm sea when your child is, or someone else is experiencing some challenge. You're not always reacting to it, but you can set the tone. And that's what it means to co-regulate. It's still about validating emotions, and they may be going through a really hard time, but their anxiety is not making us anxious. We're going to respond in a way that's going to be more regulating than feeding off of whatever their anxiety is. It doesn't mean that we're not going to respond to them. The same way that when our child falls and gets hurt when they're 2, we're going to respond and soothe them. But like, you're not going to call the ambulance for a knee scrape, and you're not going to be screaming yourself. Your child can scream and you're there for them, but you're not reacting to their, over the top feelings.
So on the flip side, then, what is self-regulation? Really, self-regulation is a person's ability to manage their own emotions, right? Their own behaviors and sensory input independently. That develops over time. And, we talk about a child having, being co-regulated, and an adult being, can have that self-regulation, but it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes adults need, some co-regulation leading to self-regulation as well. But over time, with consistent practice and consistent co-regulation, it can lead to self-regulation. So it really does involve recognizing your emotions, using those coping strategies, and adjusting to responses in different situations.
And I think we all go back and forth between moments when we rely on other people to co-regulate us and moments that we can regulate ourselves. And I think that's okay for our learners too. We're not looking at, by the age of 8, everybody's self-regulating 100% of the time. That's not realistic. But a lot of the students that we work with really need this co-regulation piece. It's so important for so many kids with autism who have challenges with the emotional piece, with regulating emotions, impulse control, regulation. So many things in the environment really do affect them differently. So we need to be that, safe person in their environment that can give them structure, emotional support, but at the same time, allowing them the space to have the feelings so that they can feel understood and supported in their feelings, but that their feelings are not going to, rip the rug out from under them, that all of a sudden everyone else in their world is going to also have big feelings. Sometimes it feels safe to be able to have a big feeling if somebody else can handle that feeling.
For sure. So, the role of self-regulation longer term is really that, if someone is regulated or has the ability to regulate themselves, it really can improve independence, right? Children, adults can gain more and more confidence as they manage their own emotions. It can also support social interactions. With social interactions, if someone is, having a big tantrum every single time they lose a game, or if they don't go first, or if someone says something they don't want them to say, that can be really difficult when to maintain friendships. So, if kids can express their feelings appropriately, and they can start to navigate peer relationships even that much better.
So how do we take an individual, a child, from the co-regulation place to working on the self-regulation? The first thing is with lots of modeling and practicing when we're calm, talking about emotions, having emotions be something that we, even as behavior analysts, refer to and talk about. And even if we're talking about our own feelings, we can have them be part of the conversation. And we do a lot of that when we're calm, and we can also model regulation. So if we're feeling a little bit frustrated, we can take some deep breaths and even say this out loud. I'm feeling really frustrated. I think I need a moment, and I'll come back when I'm feeling calm. And so all of this has no expectation yet on the learner. And we're just showing them that these things exist and modeling what it means for us.
Teaching emotions too. So like Shira said, you're modeling all the time and modeling regulation, but also model emotions and teach those emotions, and not just happy, sad, and happy means a smile and sad means a crying. But actually, in that moment, like, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way. And also, if a student has enough language, being able to identify something like sad and putting it on a thermometer. So, you can be sad, or you can be really sad or really upset, and having different levels for that, for sure. And then the other thing would be, pertaining to emotions, is really validating those emotions, right? It's real. Those emotions they're feeling are real. So validate them. Like, you feel this way right now. I get it. For sure. You want this and it's not available.
We also like to use lots of visual supports. It does help promote independence in their use, their ability to use these strategies on their own. So we'll do emotions charts, we'll do contingency maps, we might do a toolbox where they can choose strategies, and having those supports be available to them.
I think the one, main thing here is to really be patient. This isn't a sprint. So celebrate those small wins, right? Regulation is a long-term process. So every step counts towards success.
For more information on co-regulation and self-regulation, click the link on or around this video or in the description to claim your free 3-point scale teaching procedure. We also encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos, and leave a like and comment below if you have further questions.